I have for you, it is going to be Marlins Brewers 740 Milwaukee. Now the Brewers are minus 240. Totals at 9. And we saw a 50-cent move toward the Brewers in the early action. We also saw movement downward on the total. So Milwaukee actually opened 190 all the way up to 240. Total open 9.5 down to 9 flat. 70% are leaning Brewers, 80% shaded toward the over. Right now the Marlins are plus 210 on the money line. Milwaukee minus 130 on the run line. We have Sandy Alcantara for Miami. We have Nelson making his first start for the Brewers. Nelson. If you like Nelson and the Brewers in the spot here, I really can't side with you. Miami's 6-2 in their last 8. They've also won 4 out of their last 5 on the road. And believe it or not, they rank 8th in hits allowed, and they're winning 67% of their games at the current market price. They're 667 in their games at the current market price. Now, Milwaukee on the other side, they're just 375 in their second game without a day off. So that's a win percentage. The win percentage is just 375 in their second game without a day off. They're also 28th in striking out at home. Really struggling making contact at home. Now, total-wise, Milwaukee's 80% to the over in their last 5. Hey, got to do it. I know they're horrible, but I think they can keep it close. Give me the Marlins, plus 1.5, and the over 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Baltimore taking on the Rangers, 8:05 Texas. The Rangers are minus 170, totals 9.5. Nickel fade of the Rangers and movement downward on the total. The Rangers open 175 down to minus 170. Total open 10 down to 9.5. 67% are leaning Rangers, 51% shaded toward the under. Right now, Baltimore is plus 150 on the money line. Rangers plus $1 on the run line. We have John, the ends justify the means for Baltimore. And then Mike, 2-minute minor for Texas. So that's John Means for Baltimore, Mike Minor for Texas. The nickname game, I just call me Chris Berman Jr. because I just cannot resist easy picking nicknames. John, the ends justify the means. Gotta love it. I believe that was Aristotle. Nicomachean Ethics, if I'm not mistaken. The ends justify the means, but I'm not sure. If you know, let me know in the comment section below. But anyway, Mike Minor for Texas. He's 5-4 with a 2.74 ERA. Texas is 20-10 at home, 12-6 as the favorite. They're also 19-11 against the spread at home as well. So very good on the run line in Arlington. One more thing to add about the Rangers. They're second in home scoring. Now, Baltimore on the other side, they are last in runs allowed on the road. They are 22 games under 500. That is brutal. I don't know. If you're a Baltimore fan, you're loyal. You'd make a great husband or wife because you are loyal. That is terrible. And this has been consistent with them for years. One thing that's not loyal, these hoes. But anyway, Baltimore, 19-41 overall for the year. That's terrible. Now, total-wise, Baltimore is 67% to the over, taking on teams between 460 and 540. So with all that in mind, I got to lean Rangers, minus 170. And the over 9.5 in that game. Next matchup, Colorado taking on the Cubbies, 8:05 Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Cubbies are minus 115. No line on the total as of yet. I say it every day. Normally at Wrigley Field, we don't see a total until a couple hours before first pitch. A lot of wind. So anyway, we saw a 5-cent move toward the Cubs. They opened 110 up to minus 115. Now, 53% of the consensus is leaning toward the Rockies. We do have German Marquez for the Rockies, Yu Darvish for the Cubs. Now, Yu Darvish, not having a great year so far. He's just 2-3 with a 5.02 ERA. And of course, German Marquez, just fantastic again, man. This guy is awesome. He's 6-2 with a 3.48 ERA. And he pitches, how many games at Coors Field a year? 20 to 25 games, 30 games at Coors Field. So this guy has been really, really pitching great with the deck stacked against him. I mean, anytime you have a game at Coors Field, it'll open up at minimum 11. So very impressed by German Marquez. Herman Marcus, Herman Marquez, however you want to say it. This guy's awesome. And Colorado's been doing very well as of late as well. They're 8-1 in their last 9. They're third in scoring, third in hits. Meanwhile, Chicago on the other side, winners in just 4 out of their last dozen. They also rank 21st in striking out on average per game. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Colorado plus 105, getting the job done for some money line cash. Next game, Red Sox, Royals, 8:15, Kansas City. The Red Sox are minus 220, totals 8.5. We saw a nickel move toward Boston in the early wagering. We also saw movement upward on the total. Boston opened 215 up to minus 220. Total open 8 up to 8.5. Now 74% of the consensus is leaning toward the Red Sox. 58% shaded toward the under. Right now the Royals are plus 200 on the money line. Boston minus 135 on the run line. We have Chris Sale for Boston, Jake Junis for the Royals. Very amazing here. These lines proceed to not adjust for Chris Sale. I mean, we're seeing lines on Chris Sale starts like we did last year. It baffles me. Chris Sale is just 1-7 this year with a 4.35 ERA for Boston. The Red Sox are 16th in hits allowed on the road. They've dropped 4 out of their last 6. They've also covered just 14 out of 34 away from home. So really not even getting the job done on the run line. Now Kansas City on the other side, they're 16-13 against the spread at Kauffman Stadium. They also rank 8th in striking out at home. Now, total-wise, Boston's 5-2 to the over in their last 7. So I'm not saying they'll win it outright, but I think they can keep it close. Give me the Royals plus 1.5 in the over, 8.5 in that game. Next matchup, Reds, Cardinals, 8:15, St. Louis. Now, the Cards are minus 140, totals at 9. We saw a 10-cent move toward the Cardinals and movement downward on the total. St. Louis open 130, up to minus 140. Total open 9.5, down to 9 flat. 58% are leaning Cards, 71% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Reds are plus 130 on the money line. St. Louis plus $1.40 on the run line. We have Anthony DeSclafani for the Reds, Hudson for the Cardinals. Cincy, pretty good against the number away from home. They're 19-11 against the spread away from home this year. They also rank 3rd in runs allowed on the road. Cardinals on the other side, they rank 17th in hits. They're also 23rd in walks allowed. Now, total-wise, the Cardinals are 80% to the under in their last 10. Give me the Reds plus 1.5 and the under 9 runs in that game. Next matchup, Athletics, Angels, 10:07 Los Angeles. The Angels are minus 120, totals at 9. 51% are leaning Angels, 77% shaded toward the over. Right now, Oakland is plus $1.10 on the money line. Angels plus 155 on the run line. We have Pena for the Angels, Mengden for the Athletics. Mengden's 1-1 with a 3.05 ERA. Oakland's red hot right now, 7-0 straight up in their last 7 on the road. Meanwhile, the Angels, they've dropped 6 out of their last 8 at home. They also rank 23rd in runs allowed at home, 28th in walks allowed at home. When it comes to the total, Oakland is 68% to the over, taking on teams allowing more than 4.2 runs per contest. Give me the Athletics plus 1.5 and the over 9 runs in that game. Excuse me. Had something in my teeth. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Houston taking on the Mariners. 10:10 Eastern first pitch in Seattle. The Astros are minus 155, totals at 9. We saw a nickel move toward the Astros and movement downward on the total. Houston open 150 up to 155. Total open 9.5 down to 9 flat. 74% are leaning Astros, 75% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Mariners are plus 145 on the money line. Houston plus $1 on the run line. We have Brad Peacock for Houston, Mike Leake for Seattle. Leake is just 4-6 with a 4.71 ERA. Kind of off to a rough start in the early going this year. Brad Peacock, Completely different story there. He's 5-2 with a 3.17 ERA. Now Seattle's lost 7 out of their last 8. They also rank second to last in striking out, really struggling to make contact. Houston, completely different story there. 5-0 in their last 5 on the road. 22 games over 500. They're 42-20 overall for the year. Now, total-wise, Seattle, believe it or not, is 23-10 to the over at home. Give me Houston minus 155 and the over 9 runs in that game. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, we got to do some shout-outs brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. That is my operating website. We do daily picks on that site. There's different packages starting at just $1.99 per month. That is Brock Page Productions on Patreon. Patreon.com/BrockPage. Link is in the description section below. Got to give a shout out to ProLine Master, who comments on the channel every day. He's got a channel of his own, so check him out on YouTube, ProLine Master. Got to give a shout out to Chuck Pinter, Joe Milley, Lux Boss, Paul Lopez, Mike Wilkerson, Vinny Smooth, Matt It's Gonna Be May, representing the Beard Gang, Lance LaRose, Joel Dixon, Pappy Longwood, who made a top 4 list of best handicappers in the world. I made number 4. I'm the top 4 handicapper in the world. I'm honored. I'm honored. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think I belong on the list because the other gentlemen you listed, I know we had Jimmy the Bag, we had Tony George, and Indian Cowboy. Those guys are professionals. They've been doing this for a living for a long time. They solely do this for a living. I do this as a hobby. Like if I have spare time, I put the camera in front of my TV in my living room and record. Like I'm just a ham and egger, man. These guys are real, true professionals. These guys do this for a living. And, I'm honored that you would put me on that list. I do not think I deserve to be on that list, but Pappy Longwood, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate the list, and thank you for putting me at number 4. I'm going to get that tatted in the bicep, number 4. Pappy Longwood. I'm going to get, I don't have any, but I'm going to get tattoos all over my body with trophies like 1993 Bantamweight Wrestling 3rd place tournament winner. Like all my trophies and achievements that I've won in my life, I'm just going to get them tattooed on my body. Not the trophy itself, but just the text. Like I'm going to be a walking trophy, like 1995, 95-pound midget football champion. Like, not midgets, but Pee-wee football champion. 93, 94, 95. Yeah, we were champs. And I grew up, I played football with Matt Ryan, by the way. Anyway, where are we at in the... we did Pappy Longwood. Oh, shout out to Bo Dunn, who started his own channel. Bo, congratulations. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Check him out. That is Bo Dunn on YouTube. You can just click on his link on my comment section. It'll take you right to his channel. But shout out to Bo Dunn. Congratulations and best of luck to you. Got to give a shout out to Aaron D, who gets a kick out of me saying, Jerry, you're the best, which... Jerry, we the best. Jerry, you're the best. Anyway, shout out to King Swisher, Blown Stallone, Jake, Ricky, Bobby, regular anime fan, AMV, and last but certainly not least, my good friend, Jerome Jerry Watkins. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. I wake up very early in the day to produce it for you. We have just books and books of just information. I got another one over there. We just have it all documented, just books upon books of just info, stats, notes, something I do. I'm sick in the head, but can't get enough of it. But I really hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed producing it. So once again, I really hope you enjoyed all this free content, all this great free information. And as always, best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.